Out and About TV, travel, adventure, and RVs. Join Sharon and Tom each week as they travel America in a 30-foot trailer exploring and living the RV lifestyle. From trip and product reviews to RV show reports and an unfiltered look at life on the road. This is the show for you. Welcome.
Well, welcome to another edition of Out and About Travel, Adventure, and RVs. I'm Tom McAuliffe. Sharon McAuliffe is in Europe on assignment, going to bring back all kinds of great intel about food. And we've got another great show for you. Coming up this week, we're going to talk a little bit about trailer hitches. Critical to understand that. And we've got some other surprises for you as well, some great news segments, and we're going to take a tour of our little camper. People have asked a little bit to see this 1969 Shasta Compact, and we're going to give you a complete tour of that. As always, we welcome your comments, suggestions, and ideas. Just give us an email at the address below. And also check out our Facebook page. We got a growing community going on over there as we aggregate together all of the great content that's available online on YouTube about RVs and the traveling road lifestyle. So we look forward to your ideas. Help us build this community. It's yours. We are nonprofit. Ain't going to be taking any money from anybody. If we do product reviews, we're going to either buy those products or send them back. And that's how we feel it should roll. The main goal is to aggregate and put together I just love that word, is to put it all together in one spot so you can come sit down by the fire and pour yourself a good stiff one and watch some of the greatest content providers that are out there. And we hope to have some of them on the show. If you have somebody you'd like to see interviewed on the show, send us an email. We'd love to hear from you. And by the way, we're looking for pictures and videos of rigs. We would love to see your trailer. We would love to see your fifth wheel. Love to see your motorhome. Just send us an email and we'll put you on the show and make you famous. Well, without further ado, let's get underway. Buckle up and away we go. It's time now for Rig Watch, where we highlight different rigs, different trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes. We'd like to feature yours. Send us an email at the email address on the bottom of your screen. Please meet Dragonfly, a 1969 Shasta Compact trailer, which was rejuvenated during COVID. Approximately 15 feet long and 8 feet wide and weighing in at about 3,800 pounds, it packs a large feature set in a very small package. My goal was basically to have a little trailer so that we could camp out near the beach or in the woods and not have to come home at the end of the day due to time or budget constraints. I decided not to do a full rehab after inspecting the trailer, but rather to just replace the rotting wood and treat some of the wood Everything was structurally sound. It was in great shape, even after 55 years. Pretty amazing. And another amazing thing about this project, if you go to Home Depot, for example, and you buy a piece of oak and you bring it home and you put it next to the oak that was in this trailer, it's like it's two different species. I actually broke saw blades on the oak that was in the old trailer. Sadly, they don't make them like that anymore. So while the nation was in lockdown due to COVID, I was hard at work in my backyard, stripping, sawing, sanding, and painting. It took 3 months, but by the end of the process, and about $7,500 later, Sharon and I had a nice little functional trailer that we could explore the highways and byways of Northwest Florida with. I also took Dragonfly up to Michigan and did a partial tour around the Great Lakes state. And I learned a lot during the rehab process. And perhaps most importantly, I came to realize that I'll never do this again. I purchased the trailer for about $1,200, and right from the get-go, we had some challenges. The first challenge was that the seller did not have a title. After considerable research, it was found that the former owner had passed away, so I needed to go to the local court and have them declare her deceased and cancel the old title, make that void, and issue a new title. After about 2 weeks, they did so and issued a new title, new plates and tags, and it cost me around $350. But we were off and running. So it was time to put Tom to work. First and foremost, everything needed to be stripped out of the trailer. Get back to square one. I decided to work from the outside in, so I peeled away some of the siding and replaced or treated the bad wood underneath. It was in surprisingly good shape. I also stripped out the wiring from the old electrical system. I installed an electrical system for power, and then installed a 100 amp hour LiPo battery under the bed with a battery charging system. Then we basically stripped everything and began to sand down all the surfaces and prep them for primering and painting. I worked around the weather. When it was raining outside, I worked inside. When it was sunshine outside, I worked outside. For the exterior, we basically stripped everything with acetone, sanded it, and then taped everything off. I painted it with primer and then did a Rust-Oleum overcoat of bright white with aqua blue as trim color. If the compliments I received are any indication, it worked out quite well. The roof was a completely different matter. It had obviously been neglected for years, and thankfully its former owner, before or after the original owner, had kept a tarp on top of it, but it was clear to see that the roof was going to be my major Achilles heel. So first, a thorough and complete cleaning and stripping of the surface was undertaken, and then I scraped and cut off all the old caulk, and boy, was there a lot of it. Once the surface was totally prepared, I put some external bond tape around the vent covering, and it was time for the roof coating. I used an EDM rubber roof paint, which was about $100 a gallon. It went on thick, filled the cracks, and dried over 24 hours to a rock-hard finish. We'll see how long the Florida sun allows it to last. Once the trailer was painted and the roof was put on, I turned my attention to the external trailer lights, most of which had become corroded over the years and needed to be replaced. I also installed 2 solar guide lights, one on either side, and a nighttime porch light above the door. Next up was the trailer tongue area and the hitch. I added a large chrome cargo box to store stuff in and also installed chrome diamond plating covering the bottom front. Not only does it look great, but it also provides protection from rocks and such when you're towing the rig down the road. And for the sake of my back, I added an electric winch running on DC power from my battery and also has a night light at the front. It makes hooking and unhooking a simple affair in the day or at night. Once the outside was completed, I moved back inside for the final touches. I decided to be minimal, and when it came to the bathroom, I finished it off with just some of that stick-on tile stuff, and we have a porta potty in there. For flowing water, I hooked up the kitchen sink. I figured we mostly camp at state parks and Corps of Engineers campgrounds, and they always have great hot water showers. I then installed a small electric refrigerator and an aqua-colored small toaster oven, and we were all set and ready to make some good food. When it comes to decorating, for me, less is more, but it's all about the details. So I included small pulls that had pictures of dragonflies on them. See how the theme all works together? And then had draperies put in, again, that have an imprint of a dragonfly on it. And then had matching bedspreads. And last but certainly not least, the wonderful dragonfly lamp, which you'll see. For the main collapsible table, I found a wonderful poster basically looking out through a window to a shoreline below. And I used clear epoxy to adhere it to the table. Turned out really well. The table can be stored, and then we have 2 twin beds for sleeping. Now, when it comes to keeping comfortable, I tried various configurations for air conditioning. I put a cooling unit and installed it underneath a bed and vented it out the side cargo hatch. It worked a little well, but getting the cold air off the floor and into the cabin was a challenge. It didn't work so well, so pulled that out. And in the final analysis, we found that the cheapest and most flexible thing was a small little portable air conditioner vented out one of the vent windows. It's not optimal, but it gets the job done. Now we're getting ready to upgrade to a larger trailer. We're very excited. We're probably going to go with either Ember or Intech or maybe Brinkley. And it's in preparation for going full-time, probably late next year. While it's very exciting, I'd be less than honest if I didn't say I'm going to miss our little Dragonfly. the sea, from the air, from the land, the latest in news and perspectives. Time now again for news. I'm Tom McAuliffe, right here at Out and About. And kicking off the news this time, and kind of keeping with our theme about trailer hitches, B&W Trailer Hitches recently announced that it has acquired substantially all the assets of Altor Locks. They're a leader in high security trailer coupling locks, and it's a strategic acquisition which includes key intellectual property, and it strengthens B&W's ability to deliver advanced security solutions to its towing customers. What you want to bet they're going to come out with a security system? That's going to be a wonderful thing. B&H's got a great reputation. They've earned it by delivering dependable towing solutions and designing products that customers trust to tow their most important cargo, their family. With the addition of Altor Locks, B&W is expanding that promise beyond towing and now into RV security systems. Altor Locks has refined expectations in the security industry, with the first products engineered to withstand the modern threat of three thieves with power tools. The acquisition reflects B&W's long-term vision to grow beyond traditional categories and invest in products that solve real-world problems for its customers. Altor Locks will continue operating under its existing brand in the near term, but plans call for it to integrate into the B&W brand over the long term. Moving forward in the news, the Dyrt, a wonderful app that highlights campsites, has announced the 2026 Best Places to Camp National Park Neighbors Edition, presented by Girl Camper, a nationwide community that connects women through camping, outdoor experiences, and events, according to their press release. Camping near national parks offers a fantastic way to experience the great outdoors, but many national parks are highly sought after and have limited availability. Staying at nearby campgrounds can provide an excellent, easier to book alternative for outdoor enthusiasts to visit iconic parks by day and still have a fantastic setting to return to. Best Places to Camp National Park Neighbors Edition explores some of the best nearby campgrounds that not only offer beautiful settings, but also serve as an ideal base for checking off items on that national park bucket list. And they're also cheaper. Yeah. The Dyrt's 2026 Best Places to Camp includes campgrounds like Horse Thief Campground in Utah, near Arches and the Canyonlands National Park. Big Creek Campground in Utah. No, Big Creek Campground in Montana, close to Glacier National Park. And the Smuggler's Den Campground in Maine, near Arcadia National Park. And last but not least, what about Mono Hot Springs in California by Yosemite, Kings Canyon, and Sequoia National Parks? Yeah, that's just to name a few. Each of these campgrounds provide an excellent alternative to the often fully booked campgrounds located within national parks. So you got to drive a few minutes in order to get into the national park and hike around. This feature is included with the DYRT, the Dyrt Pro membership. The Dyrt app and forum helps you find the best campsites and is built by the largest camping and RV community in the USA. Check it all out at https://thedyrt.com. Check it out at https:// Dyrt.com. Elsewhere in the news, on Saturday, June 6, 2026, the American Hiking Society invites thousands of hikers across the nation to hit the trails for the 34th annual National Trails Day. I was unfamiliar with this. It's an annual event. It unites hikers, cyclists, paddlers, equestrians, trail organizations, public land agencies, nonprofits, outdoor businesses, all with the shared mission to keep our trails better than we found them. It's not just a get together, it's basically a working vacation where we're going to work on the trails and the infrastructure of our hiking and outdoor recreational areas. The nation's 250th celebration and American hiking's 50th anniversary makes 2026 the best year yet to take part in National Trails Day. You can do so by hosting or attending an event and sharing about National Trails Day across social media and all digital communications, according to the organization. National Trails Day is an annual call to action, prompting trail enthusiasts to engage in trail maintenance projects, education sit-ins, and advocate for trails and public lands. You can participate in cleanups, outdoor education events, and lots more. In a time of budget cuts when outdoor spaces require our attention more than ever, the American Hiking Society calls on individuals of all ages to reconnect with nature, their communities, and the great outdoors for National Trails Day 2026. Well, our favorite RV commentator, Josh, the RV nerd, has shared his top couples travel trailers for 2026. This is something he does every year. He chooses, about half a dozen, 5 or half a dozen trailers that he thinks would be perfect for traveling couples. Josh, the RV nerd Winters of Bish's RV, has released his 2026 list of top travel trailers for couples, answering the question, what would you get if you were buying an RV today? Uncle Josh goes over his favorite trailers in this latest video. You can check it out at Bish's RV website. And that's the RV and camping news this time around. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Tom McAuliffe for Out and About TV. Each week, we'll give you the very latest on news from the RV and camping industries. Trailer hitches, what you need to know. You ever hooked up a trailer and said to yourself, gee, this looks hinky. It's kind of sketchy. You're not alone. It's always amazed me that somebody can go into an RV dealership, pull out their checkbook, and then turn around and drive down the road at 65 miles an hour, with 5 tons of metal around them with absolutely no training whatsoever, be it a huge, 45-foot long motorhome or a truck trailer combination. Shouldn't there be some level of training before we turn people loose with these dangerous projectiles going down the road? I think so. I think that's something that needs to change. in my opinion. But that's for another time. No other part of trailerdom is as fraught with the possibility of catastrophe as trailer hitches. It is a critical component in towing and towing safety. Oh, sure, loading the trailer properly with the correct amount of weight is vital, and the 60/40 above the axle line and the proper tires are critical. The right tow vehicle is super important, but you fool around and you don't get the hitch right, and you might as well stay parked at the curb because you're headed for, sadly, a tragedy. That's why it's critical that you understand these systems and how they are deployed. Today, we're going to break down everything you need to know about trailer hitches, the good, the bad, and the ugly. There are various hitches in the market, from junk at the $200 to $300 level to advanced anti-sway weight distribution systems at the $4,000 level, 3,500 to $4,000. And we're going to focus on the ones that'll keep your rig planted firmly on the road instead of white knuckling it down the highway. So let's start with the basics. There are several types of trailer hitches, but for RV travel and towing with a pickup truck like my Ford F-150, you'll mostly be dealing with what they call receiver hitches. These are the square openings mounted to the frame of your vehicle, typically in sizes of 1¼ inch to 2 inch to 2.5 inch. They're receivers. Now, inside that receiver goes your ball mount. You'll see a picture here. And that's where things start to matter. The hitch ball itself comes in different sizes, usually 1 7/8, 2 inch, or 2 5/16. And yes, size here does matter. Get it wrong, and your trailer could literally pop out of its hitch. It's not ideal. And we've heard of it happening. Saw a picture the other day of a guy who was actually in his vehicle and the trailer passed him on the left side. Now, beyond the basic setup of your hitch, things start to get serious when you start towing a travel trailer. 5,000 pounds, 7,500 pounds, maybe over 10,000. And that's where weight distribution hitches come in. A standard hitch puts all of the tongue weight, that's the downward force of the trailer, onto your hitch and right on the back of your truck. And then what happens? Well, your rear end squats, right? Your rear end goes down. Your front end lifts. Your steering gets light because your front wheels don't have contact with the pavement. Braking gets worse. A lot of times you got brakes in the front. And suddenly your truck doesn't feel like your truck anymore. A weight distribution hitch, a WDH, fixes that. It uses spring bars and long steel arms to distribute that weight more evenly and effectively across the truck and trailer axles. So instead of all that pressure sitting on the truck's rear axle, it spreads it out, leveling your rig and restoring control. You'll notice a difference immediately. Better steering, better braking, and a much more confident ride. Now let's talk about something that can turn your good day into a very bad one. Trailer sway. Sounds like a dance from the 1940s. I did the trailer sway. Sway is when your trailer starts fishtailing behind you, usually from wind, passing semi-trucks, sudden steering inputs, and it's very subtle. Most tragedies, most turnovers happen because the driver didn't even realize that the trailer was going back and forth until it started moving the tow vehicle across the highway. And this is where anti-sway systems become critical. Some are friction-based systems, basically a bar that resists side-to-side motion. And others are built right into the weight distribution hitch itself, like dual cam systems or advanced setups like the equalizer hitch or the Blue Ox systems. These systems actively keep your trailer tracking straight behind your tow vehicle, even in crosswinds or when a semi-trailer blows past you at 75 or 80 miles an hour. Now, if you really want to go top tier, there are premium systems like the ProPride 3P hitch that virtually eliminate sway. They stop it even before it starts. They use a completely different technology and geometry, and they're not cheap, coming in at around $3,500. But for long hauls with the heavier rigs, they can be real game changers. It's important to understand that there are basically three classes of hitches. There are basically three trailer hitch classes. Class 3 for 800 pounds towing, a 2-inch receiver. That's for light trailers, boats, stuff like that. Class 4, up to 10,000 pounds towing, a 2-inch receiver. It's considered heavy duty, and it's for larger travel trailers. Class 5 is 12 to 20,000 pounds of towing, 2.5-inch receiver, and that's for heavier RVs, equipment trailers, and such like that. Towing weight is one of the most important and overlooked parts of towing. It is the downward force, as we talked about before, it's the downward force that the trailer puts on your hitch and subsequently on your tow vehicle. And getting it right is critical to stability. Too little tongue weight, usually under 10% of the trailer's total weight, and your trailer is much more likely to sway. Too much tongue weight, and you overload the rear of your truck, hurting steering, hurting your braking, and more wear and tear on your axle. The sweet spot for most travel trailers is right around 10 to 15% of the trailer's total weight. Get that balance right, and your rig is going to track straight and feel solid on the road. Get it wrong, and you'll feel it almost immediately. So here's the bottom line when it comes to hitches. If you're towing anything more than a small utility trailer, especially a travel trailer or a fifth wheel, you should strongly consider a weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. I think they should just be standard equipment. It's not about comfort, it's about safety. Because when you're rolling down the interstate at 65 miles an hour, the last thing you want is your trailer deciding it has a mind of its own. Set it up right, and towing becomes smooth, stable, repeatable, and even enjoyable. Get it wrong, and you're going to feel it in the first mile. If you found this helpful, stick with us. We're breaking down everything about RVing, towing, and life on the road. Because when you're out and about, it's not just about the destination, it's about getting there safely. It's not just about the destination, it's about getting there safely. Hey, I want to thank you so much for coming by. We're going to make it a regular affair, yeah? And you tell your friends, come on by. Basically, we're shooting on every other Saturday for broadcasts, or maybe just monthly to start with. And then, of course, eventually we'll go weekly. There's always lots to learn, lots to pass on. We've got a couple of great interviews we're working on, so stay tuned and let us know what you'd like to see. Thanks so much for coming by. Please like and subscribe, and you get out there. Mother Nature's calling, and we'll see you out and about.